Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5. We are present about remaking peaceful world, the world of religious leaders, which is issues and challenges for leaders. First of all, universal peace is a dream and ideal dream by every country leaders who holds the reins of government. Having a country occupied by people who are united, harmonious, peaceful, and at peace is very significant to a leader because it symbolizes his authority in leadership because he is able to reach a common agreement even though he consists of various religions and races to the point of creating a peaceful country. The country is experiencing various forms of threats to peace, including wars between Palestine and Israel, security, such as cases of attacking a police officer at Ulu Tiram, religious discrimination, such as cases on the word of Allah that written on socks, uh, religious discrimination, the oppression of human rights, and moral values among the community are also increasingly eroding. In this context, religious leaders must be aware of the issues and problems that occur around them. However, in carrying out their responsibilities, there are certainly challenges that need to be faced, especially in this increasingly complex contemporary era. Therefore, this presentation aims to know and discuss more clearly the role of religious leaders in their involvement in supporting global peace, as well as identify the issues and challenges faced by them in their efforts to unite humanity worldwide to create a peaceful country, while also acting to find solutions to address issues and overcome challenges faced so that the problems that threaten the economic, political, and welfare stability of the country can be avoided.
My name is Norsha Zanani bintu Muhammad Sabri and my metric number is 1233165. So the definition and understanding of religious leaders is it refers to individuals who lead a religion in spiritual, social and moral aspect. They are responsible for conveying religious teachings, leading worship and being a reference in religious matters, ethics and providing adversary service. There are various religion in the world, and Malaysia does not only have one religion that is followed, but the whole world has various type of religion, and each religion has its own religious leaders. So, for example, of religious leader in the world are imam, preachers or muftis for Islam, and priests for Christianity, monks for Buddhism, and many other examples of religious leaders in the world. The appointment of these religious leaders is not only subject to their respective countries, but also based on the religion they follow. For example, the Islamic religious leader for Malaysia is the Minister of Religion, who has been appointed by the Malaysian government, while the head of Christianity is appointed according to the agreement of cardinals who are under 80 years old around the world in a closet session. This shows that the appointment of leaders of religion is not the same. So the Prophet SAW said, every one of you is a guardian and is responsible for his charge. Bukhari. The importance of religious leader is in society is to build a balance between religion and a modern life. In a modern life, as a religious leaders, um, he must find ways and means to balance religious practices and worldly matters, uh, which are which are often the subject of debate because in this increasingly modern era, there are various types of societies that do not adhere to any religion, and this allows them to only focus on the world. So it is the responsibility of leaders to always care and address issues that occur in their religion. In addition, religious leaders need to be a source of inspiration and motivation for followers of their respective religion. For example, the Prophet Muhammad SAW was full of praiseworthy qualities They are the core of noble values that must be emulated not only by Muslim but also by the entire community. Namely trust, communication, intelligence, and wisdom. Religious leaders also need to provide moral and social guidance, such as moral decay, spiritual poverty, and life stress. It is very appropriate. It is a very appropriate to do this by religious leaders who have extensive and high knowledge related to religion and can convey goodness and advice to solve their real life problem. Religious leaders are individuals who play a very important role and should not be taken lightly in a society. They are not only responsible for leading and conveying religious teachings to their followers, but also play a major role in shaping noble values, providing morals and spiritual advice, and being a good role models for the general public. In an increasingly modern and challenging world, religious leaders need to be smart in adapting their approach to keep up with the times without compromising the basic principle of the religions they hold. Every religion in this world has its own unique and structured leadership, structured and plays similar function, even though they differ in terms of titles and method of appointment. This shows that the role of religious leaders is universal, organized as a driver of spiritual and social well-being. Therefore, we need to appreciate the existence of religious leaders and ensure that their role continues to be relevant and respected in guiding society towards a more meaningful and harmonious life.
The role of religious leader in remaking a peaceful world. Religious leaders are individuals who have the ability and deep understanding to carry out their responsibilities. As a responsible leader, they need to include several elements to develop followers through relationship with a community. Religious leader not only convey religious teaching but also act as a link between individual and society. This produces two-way communications to largest group. This can be seen of effort of multicultural religious leader in Malaysia. In Malaysia, religious and cultural diversity is a strength and fundamental right. Religious leaders who understand this diversity can work together across faith to foster unity and play a role as a bridge between different communities to avoid conflict and misunderstanding. Among the role of religious leader in building a peaceful world is by conducting interfaith dialogue, opening up a space of discussion between followers of various religions. Interfaith dialogue provides a platform for individuals to ask questions related to other faith and obtain clarification directly from religious figures. This helps resolve misunderstanding and strengthens mutual understanding. Second, promoting communications for mutual respect. Through open discussions, individuals learn to respect and view and belief of others. This helps maintain harmony and avoid dispute. For example, the Malaysia Institute of Islamic Understanding (IKIM) carries out many activities like this, which are positive efforts to explain each religion, such as Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikh, and Christianity. Clearly, this interfaith dialogue can lead to openness. Thirdly, practice the value
of tolerance. The tolerance is important fundamental in a plural society. When religious leaders promote tolerance, their followers are more willing to deal with the current issue peaceful and rationally without offending the sensitive of others. Second, the role they can product and creating mobilizing communities for social actions by emphasizing relationship without religious discriminations. Religious leaders can unite communities by adhering to the principle of fair treatment of all, regardless of religions. This helps build harmonious and inclusive relationships. Second, opportunities to understand the situations of other religions. Through social programs and community activities, communities can understand the reality of the life of followers in other religions who may face their own challenge. This reduces prejudice and increases empathy. Thirdly, building unity by listening to the voice of community. When the voice of the community heard and respected, the people feel valued. This program helps create unity and encourage participation in effort to develop and share community regardless of religious background. It is clearly the religious leader play a very important role in creating a peaceful world, especially in maintaining a positive approach to religious diversity.
I will continue explain about role of a religious leader in remaking peaceful world. I have 3 points. First is be a role model. Religious leader must show their good attitude and behavior, such as kindness, respect, honesty, because leader is someone who got many attention from others. So when people see their good example, people will follow it. This help make the community more peaceful. Second, solving a problem. Leaders always need to find a solution for the problem without causing another conflict. Other than that, leader should able to find a solution and make a decision for some of things. And also, leaders should accountability with their decision. And lastly, justice. Leaders should practice justice in all areas such as economy, education, and social matter. Other than that, as a leader should be brave to bring justice. For example, religious leaders must speak up when something is wrong and make sure everybody is treated the right way, in the right way, no matter their race, status, or religion. In conclusion, a religious leader play a big role in making peaceful work. Their action will help build society based on understanding, respect, and peaceful.
Issues and challenges faced by religious leaders today. Firstly, crisis of cultural and moral values. Globalization has affected certain values rooted in major religions and cultures of the world. Concept of good and evil, right and wrong, individualism and pluralism, individual interaction with the society and the very meaning of life are all warped and corrupted by global capitalism, international markets, mass media, and the promotion of excessive consumption. This highlights how foreign influences transmit through global media, challenge traditional moral frameworks upheld by religious leaders. Secondly, threat to cultural preservation in a globalized world. This belief strongly resonates with the concerns expressed in the article, which state that even some local language and valuable tradition are on the verge of disappearance as the result of globalization. In addition, emphasize that global consumerism is now forming a homogeneous global culture where indigenous cultures of the South are being replaced by Western cultures, further reinforcing idea and that tradition costume are at risk of extinction. Lastly, new values and beliefs have no root or connection to their national identity. Therefore, globalization weakens the traditions and values of local cultures for the sake of universal uniformity.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Izzatul Farhana binti Ismail. My metric numbers 1233160. Okay, today I will present to you two of the issues and also challenges, which are the first one is dependency of Islamic country on developed nations. Second one is the influence of the secular governance on Islamic world. Let me brief to you the first one, which is the dependency of Islamic countries on developed nation. The Islamic countries, many Islamic countries depends on the developed nations on financials and also technologies. Examples, their loans and finance assistance often come from Western dominates institutions and like IMF and also World Bank. Okay, let me give some examples from the Asian financial crisis 1997. Indonesian, which are under Suharto, they received a large of loans from the IMF. That the effects were negatively the country's economies and national sovereignty. There are some issues that is berkait dengan kebergantungan negara Islam terhadap developed nations, which is dominasi sistem ekonomi kapitalis, iaitu dominasi kapitalis barat diterapkan di dalam negara Islam. Second one is the influence of secular governance on the Islamic world. Nak kata kat sini, the democracy liberals yang meniru sistem barat semakin besar dalam negara Islam. Contoh, sistem demokrasi liberal ni, dia mengasingkan antara agama dan juga urusan pentadbiran. Dia mengasingkan agama daripada sistem pentadbiran dan kenegaraan. Contohnya seperti Islam liberal menolak tafsiran agama tradisional, lepas tu menolak ijma' ulama dalam hukum qata'i dan macam-macam lagi lah. Marginalizations of religious leader are no longer respected or influenced in the national policy making. Maksudnya kat sini leader sekarang ni tak lagi apa yang diorang cakap tak lagi dihormati dan dipandang tinggi kerana adanya demokrasi liberal ni.
My name is Nur Sofia Fakiha binti Ahmad Bukhari. So today I would like to proceed to the solution that we would like to propose to overcome the issues and challenges that has arisen. So the first solution that we want to propose is strengthening education on and moral values. So we know in facing many crises of our time, especially the crisis of moral and cultural values, I think that the most essential solution is to return to the education, because education is not just about gaining knowledge. It is the foundation in shaping character, shaping who we are as an individual, and also in the society. So through strong and value-based education, religious leader can play a key role in developing akhlak. So like a moral conduct in the community, because this is the vital to form a peaceful, united and civilized society by developing the akhlak. And why we would like to mention the education, moral or value-based education here, because education teach us to respect other regardless of race or religion, and that nurture tolerance and empathy will have a lasting impact on peace. So when we educate the soul, not just the mind, we build people who care about the harmony, not only the division. So I like to mention that what Dr. Zulkifli Hassan was said. I don't remember what program that we have with him, which is he said that building a civilization that can last for a long time requires various reform that accompanied by the ideas and intellectual thinking. So by this, I do saw that how important the education in building a civilization, and also we need to return the humanity to the mainstream through knowledge and education. So what we must not to forget is peace does not begin in the halls of power. It begins in the hearts of people, so especially the youth, and the heart is shaped by the education. So only through proper and moral based education we can produce future leaders who are not selfish but also progressive, balanced and value driven. So that's why I put the strengthening education and moral values in our first point to solve the crisis. That's all.
My name is Muhammad Haziq Mirza bin Hasnan, and I would like to continue with another solution, which is globalization is one of the most powerful forces shaping our world today. It has improved communication, increased trade, and built stronger international connections. But at the same time, it brings a serious threat: the slow loss of local cultures. First, globalization weakens native languages, traditional values, and culture practices. Through global media and modern consumer trends, young people are more exposed to foreign lifestyles and often forget their own tradition. For example, many young people in Southeast Asia know more about Western music and fashion than their own traditional art and literature. This causes them to feel disconnected from their roots and slowly lose their culture identity. Education also plays a key role in protecting culture. We must include culture knowledge in religious and moral education. When we teach local history, native wisdom, and traditional language, we help students link culture with faith. For instance, in Islamic studies in Malaysia, students can learn about values like respect, humility, and kindness. This build both stronger faith and deeper understanding of their own identity. Furthermore, religious practices can include culture activities. Mosque or any religious institution can make a program like Arabic calligraphy, traditional poetry, or spiritual songs using local instruments. These activities make religious learning more meaningful and interesting for youth. We also must embrace digital preservation as part of our strategy. In the digital age, if something is not online, it often disappears from public awareness. We can preserve culture by recording local traditions, storytelling, and performance, and sharing them on platforms such as YouTube, educational apps, or any media digital. Universities, for example, can partner with culture groups to document traditional knowledge and share it through interactive digital formats. This makes culture education more accessible to younger generation. Lastly, religious and community leaders must connect with yours through social media. They should promote culture and national identity in simple, creative ways, or while rejecting values that go against local belief. When culture is shared through short videos, clear message, or fun content, it's become more relevant and meaningful for the youngest generation.
Next, I will proceed to the third solution that we want to propose to overcome this crisis and challenges that has arisen nowadays, which is our third solution is advocating for inclusive governance and ethical leadership by giving the religious leader a diplomatic and strategic role in state affairs. So we know that governance today is often influenced by secular ideologies, and this poses a real challenge, particularly for a religious leader who wants to uphold spiritual and moral values. So we can't say that we don't want to rely on this secular method at all, because we know that we maybe rely on this governance. So to address this, we need to give religious leader a diplomatic and strategic role in state affairs, and their involvement ensure that religion is not separated from the politics, but instead complements governance. This approach support inclusive governance, where decisions are not only efficient but also ethical and value driven. So I give a few example on how we put Islam in the state of in the political matter or in the governance of our country, which is we can see a key example in Islam Hadari that was introduced by Malaysia's fifth Prime Minister, which is Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, that integrates Islamic values into national development. So it shows that religion can guide economic, political, and also social progress. And another important concept that I can see is wasatiyah, the principle of wasatiyah, the concept of wasatiyah, which is introduced by the sixth Prime Minister, which is Datuk Sri Najib Tun Abdul Razak. It promotes moderation, which helps avoid extremism and polarization. So we can see here that if we give the religious leader involvement in the politics, so we could ensure that religion is not separated from the politics. So we can govern the government in a good way.
Next, today many Muslim countries still rely on global financial institutions like the IMF and World Bank, but these loans often come with high interest and strict rules that harm ordinary people. Back in 1997, during the Asian financial crisis, Malaysia made a bold move. Under Tun Dr. Mahathir, we rejected IMF assistance and used our own methods to recover without riba-based loans. This is proof that an independent and ethical economic model is possible. That's why we need to build an Islamic financial system that is free from riba and based on justice. Islamic banks do not charge interest but share profits and risk fairly. For example, Bank Islam offers a rent-to-own home financing. Instead of paying interest like in a normal loan, the customer and bank CEO own the house until it's fully paid. This help young families avoid lifelong debt. To strengthen this model, we must also increase cooperation between OIC countries. This means boosting trade and investment among Muslim nations. For instance, Malaysia exports halal product to countries like UAE and Indonesia, and in return, we import halal certified goods, creating a shared halal economy that benefits us. Islam already gives us strong tools like zakat and wakaf to support those in need. In Malaysia, zakat money helps students from low-income family pay for university. Meanwhile, wakaf land has been used to build free clinics, tahfiz, school, and even community farms, proving that Islamic fairness serves to the people, not just profit. Another key area is food sovereignty. We must invest in halal and local food sources instead of relying on imports. For example, an NGO in Kelantan used wakaf land to start a vegetable farm where villagers grow and sell halal products. This creates jobs and ensures food security at the same time. Of course, many still lack awareness about how Islamic fairness works, so we need more public education. Imagine if every mosque gave a Friday sermon on riba, halal investment, and debt traps, or if school included simple Islamic finance on their syllabus. This small step can change how people manage their money. Lastly, let's not forget Muslim entrepreneurs. They are the backbone of our economy. A small seller at Pasar Malam, for example, could apply for Islamic microfinance, which is offer small interest-free loans to help them grow their business without falling into debt. In Terengganu, programs like Dana Usahawan Asnaf use zakat money to help these entrepreneurs become self-reliant. In conclusion, Islamic fairness is not just religious theory, it is real working system that promote justice, fairness, and community empowerment. If we apply it seriously, it can help.
So, in the conclusion, religious leaders are very important individuals in creating a peaceful world consisting of various types of religions around the world. Not only responsible in terms of religion alone, but also play an important role in social and moral aspects. Because in modern times, many people do not adhere to any religion to the point that they make the word the main purpose in their lives. That's why religious leaders play the role of role model to their followers because good leadership can influence others towards good moral in maintaining peace. Even every religion encourages attitudes and prohibits actions that lead to division, strife, and disagreement. Therefore, it is important for a leader or religious leader to be wise in solving problems because they have power over every decision made and control and overcome it well so as not to get involved in a bad very situation. So that's all from our group. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.